So this is addition and subtraction sig figs. And when I'm working with students, I'm always saying, you want to compartmentalize the addition, subtraction sig figs into one part of your head, and then the multiplication and division, put that in another part of your head, because the rules are different. The most commonly missed rules are the addition, subtraction, because we do a little bit less addition and subtraction in chemistry than we do multiplication, division. And so people just will forget. So these rules come down to least place value. So if I'm going to take a number like this, and I'm going to add it to another number, I'm going to try and make the numbers really easy, like that, and you did this in second grade, I'm writing it visually, vertically like this, so it's, of course, really easy to do the work, but this is also part of my compartmentalization. So when I write it vertically, it's easy to do the math, but it's because it's going to help me remember that I do these rules differently. Now I'm going to look at the shortest place value. So there's this one has a place value, and this is the shortest place value. So it's wherever that last number is. We're going to compare the two. So this is in the thousandths place, and then the other one is in the hundredths place, right? Hundredths. So I have to round my answer to the shortest position, which is the hundredths place. And so I like to draw a vertical line, and I just feel like that's really goes well with this drawing the number vertically. I've got a vertical line that lines up with my shortest number, the hundredths place. So this answer is going to be this 3.22, but I always check, does the 3 round up the 2? And you only go one number over. You don't go like tons of numbers. It's just one number over. It does not. So this one's answer would be 3.22. I'm going to give you another example. So what if instead I had some number that was like 1, 4, 5, and I'm adding it to some number that's like 11. And I'm kind of giving some numbers that might feel a little bit more ridiculous to be adding together, but they're also really easy to do the math with. And so again, I'm going to be looking at my place value position. So this is in the ones. And then this one's, again, that's out in the thousandths. And so when I add this, again, I like that vertical line because it matches really well. It's like my little key in my head that says, hey, this is how I do sig figs for these. And then I'm going to box off my number. So this is the number I'm going to use. And I just double check, does that one round him up? No, it doesn't. So my number here would be 11. Now, what kind of number would bounce it up? Anything that's, 4 and above, 5 and above. So if this had been a 5 instead, and this had been a 5 instead, now all of a sudden I have a number that will round up. And so that's the kind of number that would then make my final answer be 12. So this one does round him up. So that's kind of the method I use for addition, subtraction. I like that vertical line. Now there's one more thing that some people like to do instead of a vertical line, and I'll throw that out there just because it might help some folks too, is they like to use X's, and they just match up to where the X's go. So I'm going to use a blue number, a blue for the X. And so they just fill in all the way over. So they put an X there saying that position doesn't count. And then over here, they would put like X's in all of those positions. And then they just say, okay, well, I can't add 3 plus X because I don't know what X is. And so they're like, well, anything that has an X below it, I just don't write it in. The only thing about that is make sure that you're aware that you do need to look that one position over for rounding purposes. So you probably could look up to do that. But some people like the X method also.